Everton at the London Stadium. Who'll be the happier of the two managers, considering both needed the points?
I would say, especially from watching the first half of the game, I would have to say Lopetegui. I think in many ways, I would say he was under the most pressure in terms of winning, playing a certain way. I'm not saying they did, but in the second half, they seemed to use the ball a lot better. Somerville was causing problems. Danny Ings comes on, does well, makes Pickford make two wonderful saves. So I'd say he'll be happy with that, because in the first half, like we were saying, we thought it was going to be an Everton game.
Leon?
Yeah, I don't know if either manager will be delighted, because, you know, as Sean said, I didn't think West Ham really competed in the game until probably the last five minutes of each half, when they showed when they've got the mentality right, when they're working as a team, they can create chances, because they've got quality players at the top end of the field that can really open up defences. Everton are the other way around. They actually played OK up till the edge of West Ham's penalty area today, dominated large parts of the game, but they just lack a cutting edge at the moment, and it can be frustrating to watch when your team, it happened exactly the same at Southampton last week, dominating the game, but don't turn that into a victory. And ultimately last weekend conceded late against Southampton, but this weekend at least I think Sean Dyche will be pleased that you don't win it, make sure you don't lose it.
Well, let's have a look at the opportunities that fell the way of both sides, starting with West Ham. Sean, how good opportunities were these for them?
Massive. Well, Somerville, for me, was one of their best players on the pitch, and he was dangerous there, and his play sets that shot up. And I think Pickford does tremendous there, because he sees that late, it goes through two bodies, and to get a full strong hand and push it away there, Leo.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately Jordan Pickford, I think he got man of the match, because he was the most influential player on the football pitch. I said, despite West Ham not sort of competing as well as Everton, they've got bright players. Paqueta can play a pass like that. Somerville can have a moment. Danny Ings comes off the bench and was just involved in moments inside tight areas. He knows where the goal is, and Jordan Pickford had to be at his best. That was a good save, Sean, but this next one was absolutely outstanding, wasn't it?
It was a phenomenal save. The first touch for Danny Ings, when it comes in, if you see it, it like bounces up from him, but it takes a deflection and it skips off the ground. And Pickford's reaction to get his hand up that quickly, for me, was a fantastic save.
Yeah, because he'll initially have been moving to his right, but going low, and then to adjust to go high is incredible.
Yeah, you can see the frustration there from Julian Lopetegui. From Everton's perspective, Leon?
Well, this was as good as it got, and we spoke about it before the game. They don't get many chances. You have to turn these chances into goals if you're going to limit yourself to so few chances. And yeah, Decore looked a little bit rusty in that moment, not quick enough to either adjust his feet. This guy was bright and lively, and Dyke, really clever player. He was a joy to watch. I don't think Everton get him close enough to the goal. Ended up Mikalenko's effort blocked, wasn't it?
Yeah, he caused them problems whenever he got on the ball, pretty much most of the game, driving, trying to take people on, trying to make things happen, and playing cute little passes. And this was a nice little bit of play here, and they was unlucky. Anywhere else in the goal, possibly.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're talking, I think Everton probably had 70 minutes worth of the play in that game, and those were the best chances Everton got. West Ham had 15 or 20 minutes and created much the better chances.
OK, well, Everton come away then from the capital with a point to their name. What did their head coach think of it? Here's Sean Dyche.
Sean, you'll be satisfied a point away from home is always a decent result, and Jordan Pickford's made a great save right at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, you know, a lot of noise at this place at the moment, so that affects the game sometimes, but it's a clean sheet, another point. A pretty solid performance, I felt, with the ball and without the ball. And we actually kept them to minimal, but as you rightly said, Jordan makes a fine save at the end there. We've asked questions at their end of the pitch, and just that little bit more devil in the front third. I think we'll have more points on the table this season, but that's definitely something that we've got to continue to look to.
There was a lot of caution around in the game, wasn't there? Did you feel that, you know, perhaps just a little bit more bravery here and there? I thought Somerville played well for them and Dye played well for you.
I mean, we have pockets where I thought we were a threat. I think we opened up enough chances. It's going to be a tight one, the way the game panned out, so you never know. But, you know, that's been a challenge since I've been at the club, is finding them players that real cutting edge in the front third. Because a lot of our game was good today. We opened up the play when we could. We defended resolutely when we could. You know, big moments today were important, and a big one from Jordan. It would have been, I thought it would have been a bit unjust, to be fair, but sometimes that happens.
And you got 90 minutes with Jared Branthwaite for only the second time this season, I think, which is obviously a big plus.
Yeah, of course. You know, he's a very good player, and Michael Keane's a very good player. It's a hard call. But again, today we get a clean sheet, and that roughly that back five kept our clean sheets last season. There was a couple of changes, but it was mainly that back five.
And when you look now at these 7 games, of which you've only lost 1, you know, it's a very solid, consistent Everton we're looking at.
Well, that's what we've been working towards, you know, after a tough start of the season. I've mentioned reasons to that, which didn't help, with injuries and stuff like that, but people are getting fully fit. Jared will get fitter. You know, at least there's a solid feel about our performances. We've just got to find that cutting edge, you know, and like I say, don't get me wrong, it sounds easy. It's not easy in the Premier League, but I think that's just where we're short. That bit of devil in the front third and that bit of devil in the box, and we win today. But that being said, it's a solid performance and a clean sheet and a point on the road.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
mate.
Thank
It's a good point, actually. He's only lost 1 of the last 7. Before we get to that, his substitutions were interesting in the second half. It went like for like, better for Calvert-Lewin. Would you have liked to have seen him gone more front foot, maybe 2 up top?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those decisions that Everton are sat with a point at that moment going into the latter stages of the game. Do you gamble it to go for the 3 points? Are Everton creating enough to justify having 2 strikers on the field? Will that help create more chances by having 2 strikers on the field? He hasn't done it very often, so I'm not sure how much time they've actually played together as a front pair. It's not what Everton do. Maybe pushing and dive further up would have been the answer, but yeah, he ultimately decided that like for like was okay while Everton was still level in the game.
Yeah, and considering they've lost 1 of the last 7, I mean, they go into a pretty rough sequence of fixtures, as you can see. Brentford, United, Wolves, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Manchester City. Do they take at least with them a point from what was a spirited performance against West Ham?
Yeah, they have to. The clean sheet. I think that if they can build on that and be solid and make it hard for people to score, then there's always an opportunity. They will always have one chance, whether it be from a set piece or high pressing or a break. They need to focus on keeping those clean sheets.
Finally, on West Ham, what does that point do to the pressure on Lopetegui?
Only a little bit. But what I would say of his last 3 home games, that's 2 victories and a draw. So, again, clean sheet. Something to build on. He'll be talking about his home form moving forward. They obviously have to improve away from home. They have to look more organised. They have to look a lot harder to beat away from home. But he'll try and take the positives from that for sure.
OK, well, there were 2 managers under pressure at Molineux. Winless Wolves up against Southampton in what was a battle of the bottom 2. Wolves, Sean, finally up and running with their first win of the campaign.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed watching him anyway, especially this man, Cunha, and he gets the ball, he drives inside, and this little reverse pass to Sarabia, and the composure to take it round the keeper and slot it in for me was tremendous.
Yeah, I love players who go around the goalkeeper. This is what we'll talk about afterwards, though. Whether this should have been a goal. It's a great strike from Manning. Catches it really well. Thinks he scored a Premier League goal, only to find out there's a VAR check-in. And we debated this, didn't we, Sean? I thought it shouldn't have been a foul. You think it is. I think that Semedo's not attempting to go for the ball as such. I think he's just stepping across, but it's definite contact.
Yeah, definite contact, and I think Semedo was very, very clever in what he did there. He put his body in before in between the man and ball, but this man is their star in many ways among a lot of other elite players, but they give him so much time, a player of this quality, to basically pick his spot out, and man, does he.
Oh, I mean, he scored a goal against Brighton in the last moments of the game a couple of weeks back that will be talked about forever, but that one should be as well. I mean, he hits that one so well.
Funnily enough, in pre-match, you both pointed out Matheus Cunha. It's almost as if you know what you're talking about. But what does that do to the mood and how it changes at Molineux? Because Gary O'Neill reportedly, that his position was going to be under review should they come away empty-handed.
In many ways, I think that's quite harsh on him in terms of watching Wolves play. I know they haven't been as good as last year in terms of picking up those 3 points, but if you watch them play, they cause a lot of teams problems, and they just sometimes haven't had the rub of the green, or they haven't been defending too well. So, and he said in his interview before the game that the boys seem really up for this game and they're ready for it, and it showed in that performance. It
leaves Southampton going into the international break bottom of the table. What does that mean for the Saints and for their manager?
I think the victory against Everton last week was vital. I mean, had they got into that international break without any victories, there'd have been a lot more talk. So that's why it was more important for Gary O'Neill in that game to make sure his team got off the mark. They've played well in certain games, haven't picked up any points, and it'll be massive, especially when you've got a little bit of time to now go away and enjoy having picked up 3 points, enjoy having win, keep that winning feeling around the camp and build on it.
OK, let's see how Brentford against Bournemouth panned out at the G-Tech Community Stadium. This was a terrific game. Both sides very much playing on the front foot, and it was Bournemouth who went ahead at first after a mistake from Brentford.
Yeah, they did a bad back pass, which I myself have done before, to be honest with you, and it clean through, but the composure to take it around the keeper was brilliant.
Yeah, Evan Nielsen scoring there. Visser, a likely source of goals so far this season.
Yeah, he has. He's done what all strikers should do. I mean, how enjoyable have games been at the G-Tech so far this season? You know, the amount of goals, and that is a goal that Bournemouth should talk about all season as well. That was a well-worked set piece. But I think it was about a minute, Sean, before Brentford reacted.
And then Bremo plays this beautiful pass in, and Damsgaard takes that shot in the near post, which we don't think it should go in. But this play from them there was great football.
Yeah, I do really enjoy watching this. He's always on the shoulder. He's always ready when a midfielder gets the ball in the right position to run in behind the defence, and he scores.
Big 3 points that for Brentford. Finally to Selhurst Park, Fulham's terrific start to this season goes on. 2-0 winners against the Eagles. First up on the score sheet, Emil Smith-Rowe.
Great signing. I mean, he's showing exactly his qualities. This was, again, the big moment of the game. Red card. Debated this at first view, and we both winced, didn't we? We both realised straight away that'll be a red. I do think he's trying to pull out slightly once he realises. I don't think it was a nasty one. I think it's an overstretch, but he certainly catches him just below the knee shot.
Yeah, he definitely does, and Fulham just keep going and going, and they're a beautiful team to watch in terms of the way they play football. But this pass here, Wilson, the man on fire at the minute.
He is. I mean, he's in danger of being known as a substitute, the super sub, because he needs to just make sure he's careful about that. You don't want to score every time you come off the bench. You'll never get a start.
No.
But he's in